were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness! I hate you! He's still alive.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy's pal, Anthony, and I'm here today with my buddy, your pal, Steve Archer, because I'm afraid. I'm afraid, I'm angry, and you know what those two things lead to, so to try to prevent me from falling to the fandom menace, or maybe we're going to fall together, Steve is here today. We're going to talk The Mandalorian up to this point, which is the end of episode 6 of season 3. Spoilers after the intro. Steve, hit it please. Okay, so like I said, episode 6 is come and gone. We have 2 episodes left of season 3 proper, and like I think a lot of you listening and watching, we're angry. We have questions, and those questions are more along the lines of what the hell were you people thinking? I think those are coming from me. Uh, Steve, how are you feeling so far? Because we were talking in Aaron's live stream and after the stream, and I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm very confused. I feel hurt. I feel let down. By the way, you forgot to plug the old mugs that we're drinking from today.
Well, you're actually on camera, so I figured you'd handle that. But you're right. It's
True.
my show. You're my guest. I apologize.
That's true.
So both of us are drinking out of the Sal mug available at the Nerd Affiliated store. Shout out to Sal. He's dealing with some stuff at the moment, and we wish him a speedy recovery. This time, I am not going to try to steal the thunder and end up in the hospital right alongside him, but the thought did cross my mind. But yeah. But nerdaffiliated.com. Get mugs, get some shirts, get some AirPod cases. Those hoodies are great. I'm going to wear the hell out of mine come next winter because I'm a little sweaty here today down in New York City.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm feeling some kind of way about it. I think, right now I pulled up on the screen. Actually, I'm just going to share with everybody what I'm looking at. I pulled up the episode list for the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was looking at season 1, and I was reminded that in season 1, if we start down here at episode 2, for those who are just listening, Mando shows up. He's a bounty hunter, goes on a mission, finds the kid, and then the rest of the season is him kind of trying to figure out, where am I supposed to take this kid? But I don't want the Empire or what's forming as the First Republic or First Order to get this kid. So it was kind of like on a man on the run type of mission. Then we get to the end, and he's kind of like, all right, I'm going to keep this kid. But I'm going to take him to his people, the Jedi. I click on season 2. So we start off, and a lot of season 2 at the beginning seemed like a rehash of season 1, just episode by episode. He goes somewhere, has to do a mission, like a side quest, goes to the next planet, does a side quest. But we're still on the journey of figuring out, where is Baby Yoda supposed to end up?
Right.
And then we get to the end.
Sorry to interrupt. 2 episodes. If you scroll back down, that was 2 episodes, the first and the second. And then episode 3 is the Heiress, where if I'm right, that's where he meets Bo-Katan.
Mm-hmm.
So then we start building more stuff from there.
For him.
I feel like for him, it gets, but I'm saying, I feel like we start to focus up is just the point I wanted to make.
Yeah. No, yeah. And at that point, you're like, oh, okay, now there's like 2 stories we're telling. Baby Yoda on his way to find his people, which are the Jedi, And Mando, for us, the viewer, we're like, oh, there are more Mandalorians out there outside of the cult-like people that he talks about who don't follow the same rules. So how are they going to be involved in everything? So that path continues. We get to the end. He now has the Darksaber. He's now the ruler of the Mandalorians. Baby Yoda goes to Skywalker to go do his thing. So we were on like a story.
Yeah.
Enter season 3. Looking at this list of episodes 1 through 5, I cannot tell you what the story is. And my long-winded answer on why I feel so like crappy about this thing is I just don't know what this season's about.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That was our problem with Bad Batch, where they had so much filler and they took forever to get to their point. But then eventually they did get to their point, and now, you know, we were ranking that higher than this.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season. And I was talking to another friend, and I think I'm a little bit more forgiving of all the side missions and stuff in animation. Because you know, he pointed out, he's like, oh, well, they kind of did this on Rebels and, you know, occasionally on Clone Wars. And I'm like, yeah, but again, that's a 24 season order, or a 16 season episode rather, episode count. So as much as it's annoying, I get it, but it's like you have 8 live action episodes.
Just 8.
There's too much filler going on, and like we've said, for at least the last 20 minutes. No, excuse me. The last 10 minutes of the last 2 episodes, right, have been advancing the plot of the season and giving us a focus. And it's just like, it makes me wonder, like, I still have faith in Filoni and Favreau because they did give us seasons 1 and 2 and whatnot, but you know, you can't help seeing all the firings going on at Disney. And of course there's been rumors about, you know, who's the head honcho for Lucasfilm's interference since the Disney merger, and, you know, rushing things, changing things, kind of wanting to ignore George Lucas's stuff and things like that. And you're like, is she just like interfering in this now too because she wants to put her stamp on it, because everybody's like, hey, these 2 guys know what's up. And now she's got to come in and be like, well, you know what, I'm actually in charge, so this is what we're doing, and they have their hands tied. So I don't, it's just so disappointing, because like, and even like I said, my other friend, I get a message, why is the baby back in the beginning of the season? So it's like, you didn't even do a good job recapping what's happened to show people why Grogu's back. That I had people, a friend of mine text, and people at work asking me, because they know this is my thing. They're like, what? Wait, didn't he go off with Luke? Why is he back already? He's not a Jedi now? What, he gave it up? You know? So, I don't know. This is, and 2 episodes left. I'm afraid they're going to now, that these last 2 episodes are going to be balls to the wall, and you're going to sacrifice, they can do it, like the shows still look good. You know what I mean? Like visually, I
this
think
episode
like
especially.
This episode especially, I feel like, you know, the production quality hasn't suffered. It's just the storytelling quality has suffered, which is terrible. But I feel like episodes 7 and 8 will be like balls to the wall action. And then I'm just afraid that it's either going to leave us on a cliffhanger for another 2 years while they prep season 4, or they're going to do something completely ridiculous and try to wrap up all the stuff that they're going to lay out in episode 7. They're going to try to wrap it up in episode 8. And then you're going to be like, well, what the hell is the point of the series going on at that point? You know?
Yeah.
So.
No, it's very confusing. And I don't understand why they are afraid to like maybe tell multiple stories at one time, but give everybody a journey, or like Bo-Katan, right? Like you could have had, if you were like, oh, we can't get Pedro Pascal to do like all this stuff, you could have had like Bo-Katan doing like her own side thing, because now we're invested in her character. So maybe you have episodes that are just about her doing her thing, but she keeps mentioning, you know, I want to take out that Mando guy at some point because he has a Darksaber and I need that. And then you have Mando doing his thing, or, you know, maybe something like that. But when they when they do like an entire episode about a cloning scientist that has very little interaction with the main cast, I'm like, why are you telling that story? Like, that one makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then that girl coming back in the other episode when they need to fight the pirates, I'm
Right.
like, cool, you're showing us that there's a incel going on at the rebellion, not the rebellion, the New Republic. Cool, got it. But you're wasting so much time with these people that aren't involved in the main story. Like, side characters having storylines should be involved in the main story. At this point, that whole episode's a waste.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done.
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, Bo-Katan, like, just chilling on the planet this whole time doing nothing. I'm like, that's a waste. Give us an episode of her, fleet, as she called it this week. Give me an episode of her fleet turning against her. And then that's why she's solo on that planet. Everything exciting happened off screen. In between, we don't even know how many years, because they won't tell us, because they want to change the amount of years in between whenever they need to. It's kind of wild to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like when he shows up, and this, like, Sal and I are going to snap this season for sure. And so this isn't anything we've discussed, but like when he shows up and she says, "My forces melted away," flashback.
Yeah.
That should have like queued up a flashback, and the entire next episode should have been like the immediate aftermath of season 2, the final episode. It should have been her with these guys with the fleet and dealing with, because I don't mind that she hasn't been like in that moment in the end of season 2 where, like, she's looking at Mando with the dark saber, and she's just like, I feel like to me, I see like the wheels in her head going, all right, so he's not trained with it. Wrap him up quick, blaster, knife to the throat. Like, she's contemplating it. She's contemplating murder. Let's see the fallout from that. Let's see, like, her, because like her point of view now, and again, spoilers for the end of the episode, she won't kill the guy who took her forces at the end of the episode, because she says there's been too. Fine, that's great progression of character, because if you watch her, I've been watching Rebels again, or really just like the highlight reel of Mandalore, the War for Mandalore, and she's ready to throw down. Like, there's a character in Rebels who, at all times, there's a character in Rebels, Sabine, who's probably going to be in Ahsoka, I hope, who creates, spoilers for Rebels now, creates a weapon that specifically targets Mandalorian armor. And it basically, and by the way, this goes to your point of, oh, well, it's a kid show. It's not a kid show. I just watched a clip where they created a weapon that vaporizes people in their armor. So the for the kids argument is out the window. Just watch the damn shows. But when she sees the weapon in action and she hears about it, she like chucks her Sabine into a wall and is ready to go, is ready to throw down. And then, people talk her down. But she had to be talked down is the point. I'm okay with now at this later point in her life, her realizing, no, I'm not going to kill this guy. We need all the Mandalorians we can get. Like she's come to agree in the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so sad, and it makes me worried. Again, I'm worried for the future of Star Wars, because I thought we were going to be chilling out after like the sequel trilogy. Let's just, a disappointment for us. I'm sure there's people listening and watching who disagree. I thought that Filoni and Favreau were with us in that camp. So I thought we were going to chill out in this post Return of the Jedi, pre First Order era for a while. And then, not like kill these characters off, but like, let's have some satisfying stories and let's keep it among them. But now, especially, it seems like the only thread that they're doing is like, has been building towards the First Order and the return of Palpatine, which is like, this is not what any of us wanted. We didn't like, we wanted to talk, like, we wanted more of Grogu and Mando and Bo-Katan and all this stuff. And now you're shoehorning all that other stuff in at the expense of these guys.
Yeah. I also pulled up for everybody who's just listening, the Clone Wars episode list. And, the naysayers to us who would call us crybabies, the Clone Wars, shut up about the Clone Wars. I think the Clone Wars is the best example of how to build up to something that we all know is happening, but still tell good stories. Now, if I think back to when the Clone Wars was originally airing, it was on Cartoon Network, coming off the movie, which was shit. The Clone Wars animated movie,
Yeah.
shit. And I remember I would randomly watch some of these episodes, and I'm like, this kind of suck. Like, honestly, like they suck. But once I jumped seasons in, I was like, oh, this, for example, I think one of the episodes that got me in, let me see if I can even find it. Like, this is like past the all the Mandalore stuff. I didn't even see that stuff in real time. But this episode, season 3, episode 1, the Clone Cadets, it was just on. It may not actually have been this specific one, but it was. I remember it was a clone specific episode. And this episode, you look at the title, you look at the description, and you're like, who gives a shit about the clones? Like, give me Jedi fighting Jedi doing some badass fights. That's all I want.
Yeah.
This is what we're thinking at the time, if we go back to 2010. But I remember watching one of these episodes, and I was like, these characters are pretty good. Like, the clones interacting with each other and talking about, are they truly expendable? Talking about, we're brothers in arms here, and we have to prove that we have value. Like, little things like that. I was like, this is kind of interesting. And I found myself going through at that point, and even going back and watching most episodes that were about the clones. I was like, oh, this is really good storytelling about characters I can give a shit about. And it wasn't even that there was a story thread going through necessarily, but the episodes were quality. The story was quality. The writing was quality. You started to care about these characters. You started to care about Ahsoka at this point, which was absolutely wild. Because, Ahsoka was public enemy number 1 when the show came out. But if you're focused on just trying to tell a good story, you can get us to like characters that we hate. And I think now they can give a shit about story. And they're like, hey, here's Baby Yoda in your face. Here's Mando in your face. Just be happy. We're moving on. And 22 episodes in a season of Clone Wars. And they can't get 8 correct in Mando. Can't even give us 4. Like, solid, here's a story, boom. Can't do it.
And it's funny because, again, it's like Filoni and Favreau haven't, to my knowledge, they both didn't suffer some sort of stroke. So it's like the people they're still the same guys. They're still the fanboys. So, and then sorry to repeat, you see all this news about people getting fired, and you hear stuff coming out about who rushes VFX or overloads the VFX artist's plate. And you're just like, are people just stepping in now to flex their friggin' muscles because they can, because they feel like they got to put their stamp on it, and they're just in some sort of echo chamber where everybody's like, oh yeah, that's great, and those two just can only fight so long, or say so much. It's insane. And it's also funny too, like they talk about Rangers of the New Republic, right? The show for what was
Gina
it? Cara Dune, Gina Carano, Cara Dune. They're like, oh, it's also clear it's like those two parts of Mando were the pirate episode where the captain goes to Coruscant and everything else, and the scientist episode. To me, it's clear as day though that was supposed to be an episode of Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be part of that was the story. Season 1 of that show leads up to either a revelation that the Imperial remnants are infiltrating the New Republic already. So now you have Gina Carano's character and her squad trying to fight against that for season 2, or maybe Moff Gideon, since he doesn't have the Darksaber anymore, he becomes her main villain for season 2. That's where I feel like, that's, to me, that's where that went. And it's just like, how, and since we saw it in Boba Fett, it's like, so now you're stealing from other shows. Even in the case of Boba Fett, you're stealing from a show that's still going on. And in the case of Mando, you're stealing from a show that's never going to happen now to plug holes because people at the top made mistakes. Like Boba Fett, that whole series was a huge mistake. Even the star has said something along the lines of he wants to get back to Mando's badass ways. And it's like, oh, but I thought you wanted a rule of respect, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
This is not the way.
I kind of want to take over the show for a second. And almost
you stroke the checks, man. You take over whatever you want.
Well, I kind of want to do our own little snap right here. It's not a full-on season snap, but I want to snap something that happens early on that I think could have propelled this season into a new direction. So, we all believed that this season, and those who are listening, I have pictures up right now of when he goes to Mandalore to go bathe in the waters of Minnetonka. Yeah. But, this season we're like, all right, we're going to Mandalore. His mission is to be redeemed. That's probably going to be the plot line. And maybe there's some battle for Mandalore that happens, right? Because everything's been pointing to Mandalore and how we can't go there. The Empire destroyed the planet or did something to the planet. Nobody knows because it's so dangerous. You can't go there, right?
Or is still occupying the system. At the very least, yeah.
At a snap point, I wish we could do, if we can go back in time. He goes to Mandalore episode, 2, I think? It was early on. Maybe even 3.
I think it was episode 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Because they got that over and done with right away. That was at least a half a season plot, you know, if not a whole season. It was a nothing mission.
Yeah,
it was he had a little bit of trouble, but anyway, so yeah, it was episode 2, I think.
Yeah, so he goes to Mandalore, and there's that whole the first episode is he's trying to get a freaking droid to go do atmospheric testing for him, which I'm like, bro, like
any droid.
We're
also.
Go.
Sorry, I will say kudos to one good thing. When in the last episode when he met the Ugnaughts, I'm like, if you ask for a friggin' memory stick for an IG droid, I will. Like, I wanted to flip the table at work throughout the whole episode, but even though I would have owed my job a TV set because I would have friggin' destroyed that TV set if he's like, oh, by the way, I need a memory stick. Anyway, so.
But like that episode
that
1
whole thing was stupid,
so dumb, and they immediately worked past it. They're like, we're good. We don't need that anymore. So he wasted that whole beginning episode. But he goes to Mandalore. He's like, all right, it's dangerous down there. I could see that there's lightning storms around the planet. The Empire really did a number on this thing. Flies through the clouds, systems going off, whatever, breaks through the clouds. Fucking Imperial shipyards all over the goddamn place. And he's like, holy shit. Like, what? And then you have TIE fighters and stuff that are like, whoa, what's going on over there? Like, what's that ship doing here? Go after him. He escapes. And it turns out that Mandalore was destroyed by the Empire, but then was retaken by the Empire. Or taken, not retaken, actually taken over by the Empire. And they knew nobody would go there because the Mandalorians are so superstitious. They're afraid to go back to their own homeworld. So now he leaves, tells the rebels, that dude, like, hey man, the Empire's out there. What? The Empire's out there. Oh shit, you're right. I better go back to Coruscant and tell them. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go round up some Mandos and we're gonna go try to take our planet back. He goes to Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, the Empire's taking over Mandalore. Turns out we can live there. Nah, you're crazy. I'm telling you, we can live there. It's breathable. No, impossible. There's an episode. She goes with him back to the planet. They get into some skirmish with TIE fighters, whatever. Another episode. They got to go get the cult people to join them and got to get her fleet back. Why'd you lose the fleet? Episode. How she lost the fleet. And then we have a whole battle going on in the Outer Rim at Mandalore. I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure it's Outer Rim, but out there on Mandalore. That's like 5-6 episodes right there. And maybe they lose. Maybe they lose. They get stuck out there. And that's why they can't get back to Coruscant to tell people, yo, they're rebuilding. They are rebuilding out here, and they're
Yeah.
trying to make a comeback.
Beskar Empire, not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't handle one guy as a bounty hunter with the Beskar on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, that's episodes right there. And you know what you didn't do that I like?
Mm-hmm.
There's no mention of that little green bastard.
No. Didn't even need him back.
Because
He's off with Luke
you
still.
didn't need him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I've kind of said this. That's a whole other episode where, like, I like what you're saying. Like, yeah, she, like, him and her, they're amassing. Like, she's gonna get her Mandos. He's gonna get the Zealot Mandos. Obviously, like, I do like that the armorer is having her, like, you know, that she softened because she's
Right.
realizing that, you know, Bo-Katan saw the Mythosaur and everything else. And I was completely wrong. I thought that the Mythosaur sucking down Din was like a sign
Same.
that he was the guy, but since he didn't see it and it was just her, I'm
It's
cool
literally
with
his
that
weight.
because
The weight of the suit
Yeah.
pulled him down. I was like, what?
oh, is that all that it was?
That's all it was.
I thought it was the Mythosaur still
No.
snatched him.
No.
That's all. No.
His
so that's even
suit.
worse.
His suit weighs so much that it pulled him underwater at light speed velocity that she needed a jetpack to try to catch up to him. And then
see, I
saw
just
the
thought it was
Mythosaur on the way
Mythosaur
up.
sucked him down because it was like, nope, not you, and I'm going to kill you now.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm okay. I like all that, and like, even if I don't think you need him back, but I'm sure there's somewhere that says Grogu has to show up at some point. You know, have him be like, okay, hey, we got the New Republic, we've got both sides of Mandos. You know what would really help? And don't go for Grogu. We need a guy with a friggin' lightsaber. You know, let's get some Jedi. Let's get Ahsoka. Like, try to bring him in that way. And then so much time has passed. Say the time has passed. Let's evolve Grogu a little bit. You know, I'm not saying he should be. I mean, granted, I guess Yoda's fully grown, but a little bit bigger. Just like I think I said it on a live or something. He needs some sort of language at
Yeah.
this point because there has been a time jump, and I get it. He's 50 years old, but his size and his not being verbal is it's killing me at this point.
Yeah.
Because how long can you rely on him being cute and doing cutesy things? I mean, I guess for an entire episode he can be that with that woman Lizzo, and he gets a knighthood out of it at the end. And it's like, you're knighting a child. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like
So
Grogu should have even been like a Wookiee. Like if they want him cute and small, make him a Wookiee, but make Baby Yoda something that ages at the speed of the show. Because now, like you said, he's 50 or whatever, and he still can't talk. Like by the time he's able to talk and formulate words, all these characters are dead. We're past the sequel trilogy at this point. Because you wrote yourself into that corner of him being an infant, but being old at the same time. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they could have done back in season 1, during the firefight where they're going to get him. He should have been in a stasis pod or in carbonite or something, and during the battle, he gets fought out. And that's why he's so young 50 years later. Because, I mean, maybe, I'm sure there's a novel about it. I'm sure it's canon someplace. It's explained Yoda's aging cycle. But I didn't know that. So he comes out of carbonite. That's why he's been a baby since the Clone Wars. And now he starts to age again.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Yeah.
And you wrote yourself into a corner, I think, saying that species age differently. And he's going to be that little forever.
Yeah.
And so there are ways around it, but he's still cute, and it's still like, oh, okay. But you're relying on that too much now. To me, you're relying on him being cute and adorable, and people petting him like a pet, and he's using the Force to cheat, and he has the giant Mandalorian circle on his chainmail for no reason.
Yeah,
I thought you had to earn the Beskar, you know.
Yeah.
So
the kids on that planet who've been fighting off monsters that keep attacking them don't even have Beskar.
Oh, that friggin' episode, man.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That episode.
The Mandalorians
And
suck in the show, by the way. They can't get anything right. They can't fight anything.
Yeah, they can't fight on their own. They don't, even Bo, a proper Mandalorian, fought in the Clone Wars and everything. Your castle's on the end of a cliff, completely exposed. You're pissing off the Imperials on a daily basis, let's say.
Allegedly.
There's shield, well, allegedly. There's shield technology in the Star Wars universe. Your castle's completely exposed. You didn't think to fortify your position that they can just bomb it and now you're homeless?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and again, like, that's lazy writing to me. Like, you had no other way to get her to stay with Mando, so you're going to bomb her house. No other way. And by the way, the explanation, I said it in the chat with Aaron, that explanation of, well, Din got defeated by that robot thing, and then she defeated the robot thing, so now the blade is hers. We talked about that.
We did talk about that.
We talked about that. This was settled episodes ago. You just waited to address it.
Yeah. And
like the look on the guy's face, like, yeah, I guess that tracks. I guess you don't have to kill him in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure.
Well, you don't even have to kill the person. You just got to yield. And
that's the other thing too.
That's where the first, and that's other season. Like, he could have been like, all right, let's fight then. All right, I yield. Like,
well, he did say it. He looked at her and said, I yield.
She's like, that doesn't
count. She should have smiled.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. She should have smiled, snatched the weapon out of his hand, and said, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
That would have been
and we're good.
That's like, to me, that would have been the opposite of, and I'm going to mention this damn movie, Last Jedi, where Luke throws the lightsaber over his shoulder, looking in disgust. That would have been like, that's her taking the weapon and saying, okay, cool. That's an anticlimactic moment, but I think it works.
Yeah.
Him throwing it over his shoulder is just totally wrong, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
it just isn't, I just don't understand maybe there's too many shows. Like, maybe at this point, I'm like, maybe there is just truly too many shows because we had Kenobi being worked on at the same time as this show being worked on, at the same time as Bad Batch being worked on. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe they're just stretched so thin that they can't figure it out. But I'm like, at this point, right? Like, after Kenobi was done, you should have been like, all right, we need some people in the room, or make a council of fucking nerds that are just like, all right, guys, this is our plan. This is what we're writing, right? Do you think this makes sense or not? Like, is it crazy? Is it not crazy? All right, it's too late to reshoot some of it, but maybe we can re-edit how it looks, how it comes across. What do you think? Cool. All right. But I feel like they're just trying, like, they have all the gears are turning, but they're not even connected. They're just turning. And then they're like, yeah, it's supposed to fit. And you're like, but did you try to make them fit together? Trust us, it's going to fit. Trust us. And it's just like, it's a shit show. Absolute shit show. Yeah. And then, like you said at the top, I feel like we're turning into Phantom Menace, but not even because we want to be. Like, we liked the first 2 seasons. We liked Kenobi. Don't want to be like this.
Yeah. And I'm on IMDb real quick. I don't see Favreau and Filoni involved in Obi-Wan Kenobi. So maybe, I mean, the argument that they have too many shows in production, that would be an argument to me for the production quality, the visual effects going downhill, because like with Marvel, too many things getting cooked at once, but they're not even involved in Kenobi. So they were involved in Book of Boba Fett, which I'm just hoping had heavy-handedness from up top and they couldn't fight it. Mm-hmm. And now that's leaking into this show. So, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I do not want to be this way. I was looking for this season to like cleanse the palate after Boba Fett, and I would have been happy if this season was mostly about him getting redeemed because he wanted to be, him working with Bo-Katan a little bit because he owed her, and that delays the getting redeemed thing a bit. And then I was thinking it was going to. This is when I thought that he was going to be the Mandalorian. Mm. I'm okay with it being her. That's not a problem to me. But I'm just saying, like, my expectations for the season he's going to try to get redeemed because, and she told him, the armorer told him about this in the Book of Boba Fett episode. So the fact that he goes back and talks to her again, it's like she should have knocked on the helmet and done a Biff Tannen. Hello,
Hello, McFly.
hello, think, Din, think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry. Get redeemed. Work with Bo to kick some more Imperial ass and get a fleet going. Go back to Mandalore on your own. Realize, like you said, oh shit, this is bad, and have him get his ass shot off a little bit, so he has to go back and get help and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I thought the whole season was going to be about him getting redeemed, seeing how how easy that was. And now we have to put some more stuff in this season, but this is nothing we've gotten is what I've expected or wanted.
Yeah.
It's it makes me worried for Ahsoka.
It does.
It makes me terrified because, again, that should be its own self-contained thing. It should be them going after Ezra and Thrawn.
Yeah.
In the outer rim or whatever they call it. I don't even know what they call it. But it's like, is Thrawn going to be cloning Palpatine? Is Thrawn going to be building the First Order? Is it going to are we going to be building towards something that none of us really want when, even though it is Star Wars and a huge universe, you could still tell a story about bringing the rebel family back together, but you're going to use it to advance that agenda, which didn't work out for you.
Yep. So I made the meme this week about all we want is Thrawn and Ezra. And it's funny. I personally want them both as well. And yet I hated most of Rebels. But the ending of Rebels, I think at the final season of Rebels, I think was where I was like, all right, there's a good show in here somewhere. Maybe it was the final 2 seasons. But I do hope that at least they tease them, or at least tease Thrawn at the end of this one, just to get us hyped for Ahsoka. But you think it's not going to be them towards the end of this?
I hope it's not, because I don't, like I've said, I don't want them borrowing anything else from other shows to hype us for another show or another season. If they do, yeah, for shock value. If they do what they did at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian and show basically a teaser for Book of Boba Fett, like that scene where he goes in and shoots Bib Fortuna and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like, I'm okay with that, but I don't want to see like I don't know. I don't want to find out that Thrawn actually helped Moff Gideon escape and planted the shred of Beskar armor or something, or like that he just has, I don't want to find out that Thrawn was involved in anything that's going on. I want Thrawn and Ezra to have been in exile, or exile, I guess works, in the deep outer rim or whatever that's actually called, the unknown. No, that's Farscape, the unknown territories. What do they call it? Since you're on there, can you Google it? Like, what is the unknown region in Star Wars? Or
this is like on paper.
Wow.
All right, so Coruscant
was up
here,
right there.
So yeah, so
Coruscant.
What's the
map on the legend on the left?
Battles and skirmishes, separatist space, republic space, Hutt space. I don't know how old this is though. So out here, what is that? Doesn't say. What would that be called? So let's try a different map.
Well, don't go nuts. But at any point, I want them to have been flung, because for, again, spoilers for Rebels, Ezra had the Purgo, the creatures that Grogu saw in hyperspace while Mando was asleep, fling them presumably to deep, deep space so that Thrawn couldn't get back. So I just want them. The only reference I want is in the form of a post-credit teaser about Ahsoka. I don't want some recording. I don't want some secret plot, because if Thrawn's been back, where the hell's Ezra been?
Yeah.
So that's my thought.
Unknown
feeling.
regions.
The unknown regions. Okay. Yeah, they should be out there and everything else. I do wish Ashley, I think Eckstein is how you say her last name, the voice of
Mm.
Ahsoka. I do wish that she got to do some sort of cameo. I know I've read something that said she visited the set of
Mm.
Ahsoka, but didn't do anything. It would be a little bit like disconcerting, but I would be cool even if like for a second when eventually Ahsoka and Ezra reunite, like Eckstein's voice is the one you hear where she's like Ezra, something
Mm.
just for the hell of it.
That'd be pretty cool though.
But yeah, or like on a holo recording. If they ever show like a recording or something, let her be the voice. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Give her some credit.
Yeah. So I found
But
Mandalore on this map. It's here.
oh yeah, okay. Concord Dawn, all that. Seriously though, sorry to bitch. How crazy was it that she was on the next moon over and never thought to pop her head into Mandalore proper?
Yeah.
Drop a probe droid, dude.
I'm mad
Uh,
that the Mandalorians do a lot of planet to planet traveling for a people that have no ships. Like, what are you doing here? I don't know. We have no ships. It's like, what?
oh yeah, like how they keep moving
The
the
base.
covert, the
Yeah.
base. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a little bit of a head scratcher. It's also I wanted them to stay on that like Halo ring ship
That would have
that
been
they were
great.
on in Book of Boba Fett. That was cool. I was because that was another thing. It's like okay, they're displaced, so they're hiding on that. I guess now we jump to this planet, and what happened to the spaceship? What
Mm-hmm.
happened to all that? And again, you're supposed to be great warriors. You didn't think to check for indigenous life, like
Mm-hmm.
things that'll pluck your kids away or giant dinosaurs in the water.
Or maybe after the first time, you figure something out.
Yeah, exactly. It's been going on. The bird thing was hinted at happening before.
Yeah.
Like you don't set up ray shields or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't protect against it at all. You just say, ah, well, if it's basically it's Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
I can't do a Russian accent, so sorry.
Yeah. Nah, that's wild. Any
But yeah,
redeeming this season, you think at this point?
the only thing that could keep me going, and okay, I shouldn't say that because I think Aaron made this point, and it's true. It's like we're not going to stop. We're
Mm.
gonna, unless something truly, truly like horrific in the sense of like disrespect to the fans and the source material and everything else happens, we're going to keep watching these shows for all of our complaints. And I really do think you and I and Sal and even Aaron, we try. It's more of a constructive criticism thing. So I hope I haven't fallen to the fandom menace. You let me know after the end, but I think this season is pretty much lost. I think episodes 7 and 8 need to just set things up for season 4. And if where season 2 left us like feeling good, like, oh God, Luke Skywalker's back. Like basically I want them to do an Empire Strikes Back type of ending. Like where our heroes are on the run again, they suffered some sort of a loss, either like, not necessarily a lost limb or anything like Luke did, but like I don't want to see Grogu get taken again because we've done that. They're reeling, like I want this season to end pretty much on a down note where they're reeling from some sort of loss or like they're reeling from the realization that like they're actually seriously outnumbered in terms of the Imperial remnants versus whatever forces they start to amass and just I don't know, plant more seeds for season 4 and then get better organized for season 4. Get whoever out of the writers and editors suite that you need out of there, and let those two guys just do their thing.
Yeah.
Season 3 is a waste. The best I can hope for is that 7 and 8 set up season 4 to get off on a right foot on a good note. Sorry. What about you? Is there? I mean, I think I know your answer. Is there anything that can save the season for you?
So before I answer that, I just want to show season 1 on Rotten Tomatoes, 93 tomato meter, 92 on the audience score. Season 2, 93 tomato, 91 audience score. Season 3, 88 tomato meter, 64 on the audience score. So my answer is going to be the same I would give for Bad Batch if we were ever discussing that. There's no saving the season. At this point, what's done is done. It's just this, in this case, it's a wash. Bad Batch, better overall season compared to this, but even the highs of Bad Batch do not save the season. So for Mando, we're too far gone. You're six in, all trash. Literally nothing you can do, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is a soundbite proven wrong in the final 2 episodes. But literally at this point, I don't think there's a single thing they can do to get us back and save it.
Right. So like me, you're just hoping that they set up a better season 4, and then season 4 is redemption.
And I don't want season 4 to come out for like 3 years.
I don't want it to wait 3 years, but I don't want them to rush it, but I also, I don't want it rushed. I don't know if I want to wait 3 years for season 4, because at that point, maybe you're tired of it, or you're tired of waiting, and then we've had too long to pick this season apart. Mm-hmm. So I'll disagree with you there. I think we need a break for sure to let this kind of die down, but they need to hit season 4. Season 4 needs to be strong, and it needs to a year at most. Like, get your ducks in a row, shoot this thing, make it look good, put it back out. This way, this is more present. This way, we don't have too long to sit with season 3 and just completely tear it apart even more than we already did.
Random question here. Kill Mando?
Not this season.
Okay.
Not this season, because that's, I know I just said I want them to end on a loss or something like that, but that would be too far out of left field. That would be shock value.
He's almost died like 10 times in the show.
He has almost died 10 times in the show. I'm okay with killing him, but it needs to make sense. Not just clear the way for Bo-Katan, which is probably what they're going to do. And again, I'm okay with her being the protagonist and everything, but I'm okay with killing Mando. If you do it in this season, I feel like that would just be one more what the fuck on the what the fuck pile.
Yeah.
So, sure, do it, but have it make sense. Let him go out like a Mandalorian. He goes out like a hero, and we'll seal Grogu's fate to really start walking the path. If you have to do that. I mean, I don't think he's going to, if they do that and then he goes to the dark side, again, whatever room I'm in, I'm destroying it. This mug, the Sal mug I'm drinking out, it's in a million pieces on the floor. No.
I loved the episode with the bird when he goes over the Baby Yoda, and because by the way, for everybody, I know his name is Grogu. As far as the script goes, I refuse.
He's always Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So he goes over to Baby Yoda, and he's using the Force to move rocks, and he goes, "Stop playing around. We're going to show you some real stuff." I'm like, you have a legit magic wielder amongst you, and you're like, don't do that. That's stupid. Are you insane? Encourage him to do that. He'll be the greatest Mandalorian of them all. But no, hey, stop. Learn how to use this wrist rocket that shoots paint somehow. Yes. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I know. That's again, this is part of the longer snap that Sal and I would eventually get to, but yeah, he's a Jedi. You know what a Jedi is. You should have some idea because of Bo and everything else, and the armorer clearly knows, you want him to advance his skills. You don't want to just, no, you're a Mandalorian, we don't do any of that shit. Mm-hmm. And have him barely have a grasp of his powers. You want him fully involved. You want him to have balance.
Yeah.
You want him to be equal Mando, equal Jedi.
Yeah.
So So I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, this season looks good, but beyond once you get into the weeds of it, it's all flash and no substance,
Yeah.
you know,
Did we
which is
talk?
sad.
Did we talk about the Grogu being saved part? Was that on live? That
Grogu
whole
being saved from
no,
what?
that was a General Kenobi. The flashback. We didn't talk
Oh
about that.
yeah. You and I may have spoken about it a little, but I think you and the general got into it on the live. But
Did that do anything for you?
yeah, well, so I didn't realize that was the Jar Jar actor,
Hmm.
and it's just because I just didn't. Uh, it was again, it was like it's cool in the moment. It's cool to see. It's like, oh wow, yeah, cool. Give us that show then. Give us Jedi surviving Order 66. Give us a Jedi Underground. Give us that show, you know? But again, when you start to think about it more, it makes no sense. Order 66, you got to give us more details. Order 66 happens. They've made it seem like it was, I can't snap my fingers because I'm just incapable. So if you can, or maybe throw an image of Sal, um, it seemed like it was over before you knew it.
Yeah.
But okay, fine. There was actually a fight. They just got overwhelmed by sheer numbers of clones and it's Padawans, so they're not focused. Okay, cool. Like you and the general said, he had an escape plan.
Yeah.
You need to tell us that Order 66 has been going on for a couple hours or something. This way he could have arranged something.
Yeah.
But and like it does seem so weird that like obviously like I you don't want to see it, but you showed it in Kenobi. You can't just focus on Grogu. You have to have it be like there was a whole mess of Padawans they were trying to get out, and he's the only survivor.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make, or you have to tell us why he's so special that they would focus on him. Is it just
Yeah.
because he's Baby Yoda, or like what's going on? I'm still waiting to see like a reveal that actually he. I don't know. Like I don't want to say that he's a son of Yoda because that's too easy, but I'm waiting to see like them say he's actually a clone of Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't want it, but for some reason, just because of all obviously the clone stuff they're talking about is ultimately for Palpatine and Snoke and being able to handle the Force. But I feel like for some reason, I just feel like that's the way it's going to go. They're going to try to like they wrote them. I don't know. Again, did they write themselves into a corner? Is this the original plan? I feel like eventually the answer of his parentage is going to come up. And I feel like rather than us finding a new planet full of Yodas, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, something happened during the Clone Wars and we found this child, and he's actually a clone of Yoda we found out through DNA testing. I don't know why I don't want it, but for some reason, I just think that when they eventually answer that question, that's going to be the answer we get.
Yeah. And what's going to suck
So,
about that is they will answer that, say he's a clone, and then forget, because they already did it once, forget that so far it's been impossible to really clone successful Force wielders.
yeah,
Like in not in canon, because we got Starkiller clones in the story in Legends, but as far as canon's concerned, they always were like, oh, that's the issue, is that you can't clone and still have full access to the Force. And then they break out Snoke, and it's like, but is he cloned? And we got Palpatine. It's like, is that like what is this? Like, I thought we
yeah,
couldn't do this. So they're even inconsistent in that. It's kind of wild.
yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, oh, sorry. And just to put a period on your question, no, the flashback beyond same thing with this season. Once I thought about it more, I was just like, this just makes no sense. And why are we wasting screen time going back to this again?
Yeah.
And it was eye rolling that the pounding of the Beskar, the same thing for Mando, the same thing for Grogu, sends him on a flashback. It was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Any other things you want to bring up before we call it?
I was about to ask you any other thoughts on the season. Like I think Katie Sackhoff is killing it as Bo.
Yeah.
Like I think she, it's nice to have the continuity of her voice being from the cartoons, being now embodying it
Screen.
in live action, and I've been listening to clips because I guess she's been going out and doing press for this and whatnot, and like it's cool. She's paying attention to Clone Wars and Rebels. She said, she's never had to uh, animate for like physically animate Bo. It was always computer generated and stuff. So she actually, if I'm probably misquoting her a little bit, but basically she said she's like watched the show or gone back and watched some episodes to kind of get a feel for the physicality of Bo, and that's why like if you watch the episode where she doesn't move, like she turns her head when Din shows up at the end of that episode, but she doesn't change her stance. She stays relaxed on the throne because she was like the character doesn't move much, and when she does, it's with purpose, or there's a reason behind it. So I thought stuff like, I mean, the behind the scenes stuff is probably going to be more interesting to me than
Sure.
the actual season was. But yeah, so that's been cool to see. I don't want everybody thinking like, I mean, I do hate this season, but there's been snippets here and there. There is some cool stuff. It does look really good, but to borrow from Sal, just give us a show on Operation Paperclip in a galaxy far, far away. Include that's Rangers of the New Republic. That's the whole show. Like stop begging and borrowing and stealing from what you have to make other stuff better or what wasn't because you already have it written down and you're out of time and whatever's going on. Get back to season 1 and 2. Get people out who don't belong there and let's go.
Yeah.
You have the formula. Get back to the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Anything redeeming? Like anything you do like about the episode, even if it's just completely superficial?
Oh, graphics. Graphics
Okay.
on this planet, on this Blade Runner episode. Graphics on Coruscant. Graphics. What was the other one? I liked her planet where she had the castle.
Yeah.
That's it. Literally just graphics. Pedro's not even there. I'm like, this show.
I doubt he's in the suit.
This
Yeah.
show. Oh no, it's confirmed. This show is so shitty at this point. They don't even have him there. He's just.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's just his voice. It's
Wow.
in every season. It's mostly been his voice.
I remember the behind the scenes, like saying for the first episode, for the first season, he wasn't there a lot because he just had so many other commitments. And then I feel like I saw in season 2 he was there more, and I just assumed it was going to be the same for season 3. But that's kind of,
I think that's why they
I
wrote
mean,
in the helmet thing.
I guess. But at that point, it's like, why
Cast somebody
why
else.
cast him?
Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly. Cast somebody else. Like it's nothing against him. I don't hate him. I'm not in love with him as much as like other people are. But it's just like, why then? If he's literally gonna phone it in just because he can, why be there? Save some money, cast a new guy, give a new guy a shot, and then you have people like Sackhoff will show up. Oh, I did like also that they brought back Sasha Banks. I can't Mercedes whatever. I like
You
that
got it
you're gonna
right the
see.
first time.
Yeah, I did, but her real name is Mercedes something.
Right, but
Because
you
I saw
never
the
remember
credits.
it. Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I said it was the porn star, and I got in trouble for saying
Yeah.
it was the porn star. Uh, like that was cool too. Like, okay, cool. You're gonna see because you're like, what the hell? Where are the other Mandalorians? And you're thinking like, kind of like Cara Dune, they just wrote them out, but now at least they're gonna bring them back. So like that was cool to see and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know, Dave, John, if you're listening, if this somehow makes it to you, we're around. We'll free up some time. Let's get this council going and let's try to get season 4 on track. And I hope that Ahsoka, they've established like a perimeter and kept Kathleen Kennedy away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say her name earlier, but that's who I'm thinking was the heavy hand.
Yeah, you
in
said
this.
it's like you didn't want to say her name, like they were gonna come get you.
Yeah, I know. It was like, but come get me. Kathleen Kennedy, stay the hell away from Star Wars. Get out of Lucasfilm, get out of Disney. I'm not saying, I mean, it takes more than one person to make anything great, and it takes more than one person, I think, to ruin something like this because you should have a lot of voices. But for better or worse, you're the head, and you as much you have the power to ruin this, which I feel you have. You also have the power to save it by saying you two take over.
Yeah.
And you take a hands-off approach, but get out. Just get out. We've seen what you can do. We see what you're doing. Please get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on that chipper note, I think that's an episode. Links down below for the store, nerd affiliated. Get some mugs, get some merch, get some AirPod cases. I actually really do love my AirPod case, which I have, and it's on me all the time. Do you carry your AirPods everywhere? I didn't
Everywhere.
realize that I started doing this, and now it's become like
Part
I'm
of
a
me.
wallet watch phone guy, and now I'm a wallet watch phone AirPod guy.
Yep.
Also, join the army, join the nerd affiliated army. I'm a member. Sal, I think, is joining up. We have Josh. We have other members. You get cool perks. You get stickers in the live chat. Which, by the way, when is our live show? I can never recall.
I feel like it's on Thursdays.
Yeah, 8:15 ish, right?
Ish.
Ish. Come for the live shows. Come for Nerdy Coffee Monday mornings, 9 ish in the AM, where we recap everything. Let us know. Talk to us. Let us know in the comments what you think of this season. We're really trying not to be the fandom menace. And by the way, that's my last question. I think I'm just being critical, but I think I'm justified in my criticisms. Have I fallen to the fandom menace?
No, I think you fall to the fandom menace if you go continuous property or continuous projects hating it. The fact that you found things to like about Boba, which were just the Mando episodes, but the fact that you found things
Yeah.
to like there, the fact that you liked Kenobi, the fact that you still like Clone Wars for the most part, I think you I say most part because there's some fandom menace who like Clone Wars. I don't know why, but I think because you like things Disney has been putting out, you're not there yet.
Okay. Well, keep me posted. If you think I'm falling, I'll fall on a lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all right. Thank you, sir, for joining me on this ramble. I hope you had fun. I sure did. And like I said, guys, leave us comments, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next ramble. See ya.